Hey YouTube, so I'm going to do a short video on the ProClip. It is a adapter that I just bought. So basically, this is the front console, the RAM 3500, and this is a big screen, the LED. Above it, where this GPS unit is sitting, not even suction cup, just sitting here, flopping around, there is a little like pocket. So you can remove the little rubber at the bottom of it, and then install a ProClip, and this is the company right here, ProClip. It is very similar to the 67 designs that I did in the Jeep. So basically it's this little plate here that just basically drops in there, and then on that plate you get an arm. So basically the arm fits on like that, right? So then all this goes in there, and then you know, it'll sit out here like this, however you want to have it. And they make all kinds of little adapters. This is the adapter that came with the Garmin. And then this would sit, you know, like this, and then the Garmin would mount to that, and that would make it so you can move your phone or your Garmin or your ham radio or whatever you have around. And then these are all the bolts and things that you need to mount this together. And then this is the mounting kit. The simple screws that go in there. So I'll do a little short video and let you see how it looks, and hopefully it works out better than the suction cup thing that I was playing with. So with this Garmin specifically, you know, they have a suction cup where it can go up here, but look how big that is. And in Virginia, you're not allowed to have things on the window anyway. But yeah, I didn't want to lose like the view. I wanted this to be like way down, like as low as I can get it. So basically, you know, my view would be like this, where I see the hood before I see this. So these are the instructions that it comes with. You know, pretty much what I said. You just take the thing out, screw it together, screw together, screw together, and then you know, like that's the final product. So let's do that.
So the first step is to remove the little plastic covering, which is really easy to do. I'm using a small flathead screwdriver to remove it. The next step is to remove a couple factory bolts that are in here. Now, the tools that they provided did not include what was necessary to remove these two bolts. I believe I am using a Torx bit to get them out, and I think they might actually be Allen heads. I might be using an Allen wrench, I cannot remember honestly. But either way, if you pull the little plastic thing out and look, you can see what you need. And I guess they figure, since they didn't supply the bolts, since you're taking out the factory bolts, they didn't need to supply the tool to take the factory bolts out. But it should be a tool that almost everybody should have. And if you don't have a Torx set, you should get one. So there's a new mounting piece that's going to go in there, and as you can see, it's not symmetric. And I believe that's intentional. And then you just use the bolts that they provide you right there, and you can put it right back in. So this has been extremely stable. I would say it wobbles just a hair on really rough terrain, but I don't really see any like wobble for like highway driving or any kind of regular use. And I guess the bolts they supplied are probably a little bit longer because you know, there's a little metal plate in there now. And that's a Phillips head screwdriver that I'm using to put them in. So basically it's just two bolts, and I just started the one and then I started the other, and I'm just going to go back and forth between the two of them. I've kind of learned that it's best to get it kind of in there loosely, and then you just snug it up slowly but surely. That way, you know, they both kind of get tight at the same time. It's especially important if you have like lots and lots of bolts to put in to get everything all nicely lined up, because you know, you don't want to have to fight with it. On the 67 designs, there was some 3M tape that we put underneath the pad. However, with the Ram one, that wasn't necessary at all. It was just 2 bolts. This is an arm. I don't know if they sell different lengths on that arm, that carbon fiber arm, but it looks exactly the same as the 67 design, so I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to find a replacement arms if you want them like longer or shorter. And I'm actually thinking of possibly, you know, after the fact, purchasing a little bit shorter of an arm than the one that they included in the kit. But yeah, the one in the kit's fine. So anyway, once again, now what I'm doing is I'm putting the 4 bolts in to attach basically the arm to the plate. And in this particular case, they actually provided the tool necessary to do it, which is this little L-shaped tool. It looks kind of like an Allen wrench, but if I remember right, the end of it may not have actually been Allen. It might have been, which is like an octagon-looking shape. I believe it was more like a square shape. But either way, they supplied the tool, so I'm just getting them finger tight, and then I will tighten them down with a tool to get them nice and super snug. So like I was saying, I found that like when I pointed the arm straight, it seemed like it was a little bit further than I wanted from the console. So what I ended up doing is I ended up putting it just slightly diagonal to get it to the angle that I wanted. And then I also had the arm maybe half an inch off the top of that lip where my hand is. And the reason for that is because of the Garmin unit that I'm using is so large that I didn't want it to cover up part of the display on that giant display there. And the part that it was covering up that was kind of annoying me was the clock and the 2 temperature settings to set the temperature on the inside of the cabin. I had to have it just raised up just, I don't know, half an inch or something, or an inch. It wasn't much, but it wouldn't like rest on there. And with the little twisty things, as you can see, you can pretty much position it wherever you want, and it is super ultra secure, and it does mount low enough that it doesn't it doesn't get in the way of your line of sight, because like it's pretty much just like blocking the hood, sort of, because the hood is so big, and it sits like that. Now I said earlier in the video, like you attach that little piece like onto the front there. Actually what I found is that piece there just bolts directly onto the back of the Garmin, for my particular Garmin. Your Garmin might be a little bit different. See how it already has a ball on it? So you just basically take those 4 bolts off on that ball, and then you can replace it with the other one. Or if the ball is the same size, you can make it just fit. But in my particular case, I had replaced the ball with the one that I had in my hand that I was showing you, so then it would fit. And the Garmin comes with 2 different ball sizes, so I guess I know that there's multiple different arrangements on setting this up. The other thing that's really nice and convenient is they have a cigarette lighter adapter at the top to plug the Garmin on. Now, some people might ask, well, why aren't you using the GPS like that's built into the truck, the gigantic display? And the reason that why we have an external GPS is this is a truck GPS, or RV specific GPS, as you'll see when it finishes booting up. And what that means is basically this GPS, you can plug into it if you have propane, your height, your length, all the characteristics of your truck and your trailer, you can plug into it. And then essentially what this external GPS does is it will provide you truck routes on how you can safely get around without worrying about running into low bridges. And as you can see, it's in car mode. You just push the other button and now it's in truck mode. And you have to pre-configure this. I already had it configured. This is not, the video isn't necessarily on the GPS. It's more on the mounting adapter. And as you saw with the mounting adapter, you can mount pretty much anything you want here. So this would work out for other types of GPSs. This just happens to be the Garmin RV GPS, and it's magnetic, so it magnetically attaches onto that little plate there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of peer around, let you see a little bit closer. See how I tilted it at a little angle? That was to get it positioned how I wanted to position it. And if I felt that if I positioned it just straight, it was a little bit farther off than I wanted to. And here it is without the GPS on there, so you can see how nice it is. And the Garmin GPSs have a battery in them, so you can pull them off and take them like into your camper, into your house, and program them with a route that you're going to go, and then bring them out to your truck and plug it in. So anyway, that's the ProClip. Hopefully this kind of helped you guys out. I couldn't find a good video on the ProClip on a Ram 3500. And here's Kimberly driving with the ProClip, and as I was saying, you can see that we have the Google CarPlay up also, showing us where the speed traps are, and then above it you can see we have it in truck mode or whatever, and you can see over it.